Hi, welcome. Thank you for being here. We're going to go kind of fast because we have a short amount of time, but thank you for being here with us today. What we're going to do is we are going to take a look at the Smarter Balance Assessment. This is the assessment that's taking the place of the CST. And so we're going to go over some basic information and then try to give you some time to access the test so you can look at it and see what the questions are like. All students in grades 3 to 8 and grade 11 will be participating in Smarter Balance. The tests are in the English Language Arts and Math. There are 2 portions for each subject area. So for English Language Arts, one of the tests is multiple choice, short answer, fill in the blank. The other test is the performance task. And so what the performance task is, it gives the kids an opportunity to do a teacher-centered activity. They do a small group activity, and then they do an individual activity on the actual test. And so they'll have both of these for each subject area. The Smarter Balance practice test is accessible online, and the web address is written on the bottom of page 2 in your packet. So you can access the practice test at home, okay? So it's on the very bottom of page 2. No data will be given back this year regarding Smarter Balance or student performance, so we will not get any information on how your child does on the Smarter Balance. Okay? This is strictly a pilot test for the Smarter Balance Assessment Consortium, and they're looking at it to see how to best develop the test to fit all students' needs that are taking the test nationwide. Okay? Students will participate in a practice test at school, and then they will also participate in the field test in the spring. The practice test will be given at least once at school, but the students are more than welcome to access the practice test at home. Okay, they can access it as many times from home, and then we'll show you how to access that right now. The field tests are taken through a secure portal that can only be accessed here at school. And we will start doing that the week we return from spring break, which is April 14th. When the kids access that secure portal, it basically means that all of the components of the computer will no longer be available, and they're only using that portal to take the test for security reasons. Each test is estimated to take anywhere between 3.5 and 4.5 hours. It's an estimation, and it will vary per student, and it's not all in one sitting. It is broken down. Okay. This is a pilot test for Smarter Balance, so information we're receiving on the actual website is constantly being updated. So we're constantly getting information from the state. We're constantly getting information from Smarter Balance about things that are changing. Okay. What we want to do is we want to give you a little bit of time to access the test, but before we do that, does anyone have any questions? Yes?
Yeah, what is the data used for? You said there's no feedback from.
Yeah, there's no feedback about student performance, but Smarter Balance, they're getting the information that the students are, from the test, but that's staying within Smarter Balance, and they're using it to develop their own test. It's their pilot. So they're trying to see how this test is going to work and work best for students. Yes?
What is the eventual feedback from the...
Eventually, the feedback will just be data on student performance and how they're doing and how they're ready for their college and career. Okay, how they're meeting the new standards. So hopefully, not this year, but maybe next year, we will get that data. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, so what we want to do is you all have this web page. So if you can click on the button that says Student Interface Practice and Training Test. When you click on it, you're on the Please Sign In page. This is the default login, guest and guest. This never changes, so it'll always be this. So all you have to do is click on Sign In.
So Student Interface?
Yeah, the one at the bottom, right? That one?
And so on here it confirms that you are a guest, and right here you can select the grade. So please feel free to select the grade that your child is currently in.
Sorry.
And then click yes. And then here you're given multiple options. The top options are a training test which basically gives you the range of questions for grades 6 through 8. In the middle, you have the actual practice test for that grade level in math and in language arts. And then right underneath that, you have the performance task, which is going to be a little different from the actual test because the performance task on the field test has a teacher-centered activity, and they couldn't do that with the practice test. And so if you can click either math or ELA in the center, and then what it does is it takes you to choose settings. So right now it's on the reverse contrast, which is a black background and a white text. As you can see, there are multiple options where you can do a rose background with black text. And this is important for the kids to explore because sometimes depending on their own visual needs, the background can really make a difference because they are doing a lot of reading on the computer. And so it's good for them just to explore their different options. And then so what you want to do is once you select your color choices, click on select. And then once you've done that, it gives you a preview of the color choice that you chose. And then this is really important because the kids, once they actually start the test, on the field test, they can't go back and change their color choice option. And so it's really important that they know which color choice they want to pick. So we click yes, start my test. And then for English language arts, if you chose English language arts, you do have a sound check. So you have to click on the little sound icon. Once you hear the sound, you wait for it to stop and then you click on yes. And then it'll give you a test instructions and help. These test instructions and help are available all the time. If you click on the little question mark on the top of the test, you can always refer back to the help. And it's just a good help guide that tells you what the buttons are. What you really have to know for right now is just the next button. And that's just to go on to the next page. And you have to answer all of the questions on the page in order to move on. And so you want to just click on begin test now and it'll take you to the actual test.
So are the kids practicing with the interface at schools right now, or are you encouraging parents to do this at home?
They practice at least once at school, but we do encourage them to get on it multiple times.
Okay.
Because it is something new.
Right. And are they allowed to use scratch papers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, during the test, each child they'll have a paper and a pencil that they can use.
And one more question. I know some schools are using iPads for this type of testing. So in Arcadia, is it iPads or computer?
We are currently using computers. If a district chooses to use the iPads, then they have to buy a keyboard that goes with it, but we will not be using
So
the
Arcadia
keyboard.
will be using computer.
Yes, yeah, for right now. Okay, and so here you have a split screen. The English language arts section has a split screen, so they are able to scroll down and scroll up. Here is the actual passage for the questions. On this, they have the option to zoom in and zoom out to make the font larger if they need to. They also have the option to expand the passage, which will widen it up, and so that they can read it. They also have the capability to highlight by right-clicking. And then they can expand out. Each question has these same three options, and this is both for ELA and math. With the flag, if they click on the flag, it basically means that they can go back to that question at the end of the test to review it. So if it's a question that they might be having a little bit of difficulty with, they can flag it so it reminds them that they can go back to it. There's also the little dialogue bubble, which is for them to take notes if they want to take notes on the computer instead of their paper and pencil. The little I button is information, and it gives them a short tutorial on how to answer the question type. Not that exact question, but that type of question. Okay? Are there any other questions right now? Okay, so what we want to do is we want to give you time to go ahead and go on the test. There's no data coming back, so it won't tell you what the right answers are. But you do have to answer each question in order to move on. But don't worry, no one's monitoring what you're writing. So feel free to just kind of look at it, explore. And if you have any questions, please feel free to let us know.